What's up, guys? It's Bumpkins. Today is Wednesday, August 17th. Wednesday means New Comic Book Day. New Comic Book Day means New Comic Book Haul video. As always, I went down to Infinity Flux here in Chattanooga, Tennessee for another big old stack of books and another stack of extra goodies that is pretty, well, let's just say I didn't mean to get this many extra goodies, but they're awesome, and I'll show them to you in just a second. Guys, real quick, if you are on the Whatnot app, be sure to check out Infinity Flux Comics, all one word. They'll be linked in the description below. They do shows at least 3 times a week. They sell old books, new books, you know, modern, silver, bronze age, action figures. They sold slabs on one show, and they might do it again. Just all kinds of awesome stuff. They are just the absolute best seller on that app. So if you are on Whatnot and you're looking for a great seller with awesome stuff, be sure to check them out. Now guys, before we get started, I do need to let you know that today was an absolutely crazy day for me, and as such, I did not get to read very many of these books, only a few. So this video is probably going to be a little bit shorter and a little bit lighter on content. I have to apologize because I know you guys are just, you know, New Comic Book Day rolls around and your first 2 thoughts are, what did Bumpkins get and what did he think about everything? I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I won't have a whole lot to say about a lot of these. I just flat out ran out of time today. But I did get to read a few of them, so let's take a look at Marvel first. So we'll start off with Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 1, the first appearance of the Sinister Six. I'm so happy to have finally gotten this. It's the facsimile edition, but I just thought it would be cool to have anyway. I have read this before. It is the first appearance of the Sinister Six. It was really cool to see the very first time that Spider-Man's greatest foes teamed up to take him on. It was really fun. Like I said, this is a facsimile edition, so it is a page-for-page reprint of the original book, complete with the original ads, all that good stuff, just on, you know, newer, glossier paper. So yeah, didn't flip through this one yet, but I do know that the story's awesome, and I can't wait to relive that in brighter colors and better paper. Next is Avengers 1 million BC. So when I pre-ordered this, I was riding high on the Jason Aaron Thor omnibus, and I love Jason Aaron's Thor, whether it's God of Thunder or Jane Foster's Mighty Thor. I love all of it. That is some of the best comics I've read maybe ever. So I was riding high on that, pre-ordered this, and now that it's here, I'm like, I don't know if I really care. I remember there was another book, I don't quite remember what it was, but it was Avengers 1 million BC, and I actually kind of thought the idea was silly. Like, you had Odin. I just thought it was a little bit too convenient that you had echoes of the current Avengers, but a million years ago. I thought that was a little bit weird. I did like the Ghost Rider riding a big flaming woolly mammoth. I thought that was pretty cool. But I guess that there may be some revelations in here about who Thor's real mother might be, and maybe it's Phoenix. I mean, you can see on this awesome Scotty Young cover, we've got Odin and Phoenix here. I'm not really sure. I am going to read it though, because I'm curious. I might be completely wrong. This may be an awesome book, but I'll just have to sit down and see how it turns out. So the only Marvel book I did get to read today is Daredevil number 2. So this is Legacy number 650. So this one, you know, Marvel, they love to do the anniversary issues, you know, number 25, 50, 75, 100, or multiples of those. And this is one of those. So it's a little bit, I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's double size, but it is thicker. This one was really good. So I didn't love the first issue of this new Daredevil run, even though it's still Chip Zdarsky and Marco Checchetto, the creative team from the last run, which I love. I didn't love the first issue. I thought it was a little bit underwhelming, but I also recognized that it was a bit of a setup for things to come. And I like this issue much better. I'm happy to say that I enjoyed this one much better. I still kind of don't really understand what's going on, but I have faith that you just got to stick with it and let the story play out. And, you know, if I give the story a few more issues to tell the story it wants to tell, I have every confidence that everything will be explained. So in this one, or I guess in last one, one of Matt's old college buddies, a guy named Goldie, he appears out of nowhere, and he's got, I don't know if I would say he has like godlike powers, but he has some kind of weird ability to just see the future, meaning that he can see the path that people are going to take, I guess. And, you know, like, for example, there's a guy who asks him how to get to the library, and he could see the path that guy was going to go on. So he said, the library's over there. The guy went to the library to use the computer to look up how to make a bomb, to blow up a train, you know, so there's, you know, there's a butterfly effect of everything, and this guy Goldie can sort of see all that stuff. We get a little bit of a flashback in this to their time in college, and Goldie was able to see the path that Matt would go on as Daredevil, even though he wasn't Daredevil yet. Like I said, he may or may not have some kind of powers as well. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Maybe we're supposed to know and I just didn't understand it. But regardless, this was a really good issue. This had some good action, you know, Daredevil versus Goldie. It was a, you know, a dark, rainy New York night on a construction site, that kind of thing, the kind of thing you want to see from Daredevil, him using his senses to find survivors of the blown up train and to find Goldie wherever he was hiding, just all that kind of stuff. It was really, really interesting. I am super duper on board for this title. Again, I didn't really understand a lot of it, but I have confidence that it will all make sense, you know, once we get a few more issues under our belt. Next up is Edge of SpiderVerse number 2 with, I guess this is the new Spider UK. I don't remember her actual name. Again, this is one I haven't read yet. I didn't really love the first issue of this. It seemed to be just 4 stories that barely related to each other of different Spider-Men from different universes and different times as well. I suspect that this will be the same, but hopefully they'll connect a little bit more. And not saying that everything has to connect, but I just want to know what the overall story is. You know, what's the threat? Who is it? Where is it coming from? Why? All that kind of stuff. We didn't get a lot of that in the first issue, but I'm hopeful that we'll get it here. Next is Hulk number 8, Banner of War finale. So this has been a really fun, it's been a fun, dumb story, but not dumb in a bad way. Just like, you know, dumb fun. You know, Hulk and Thor slugging it out, and the stakes keep getting raised every issue. And it's just been fun. I've really, really enjoyed it. This issue supposedly will give us sort of a definitive answer on who could win between Hulk and Thor. I still hold the position that whichever character would win is whoever the writer wants to win. So yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying this storyline so far, and I can't wait to see how it all wraps up. That was actually all for Marvel. Didn't quite realize it, but I got a few cool DC books here as well, including my favorite book from DC and one of my favorite on the stands, Batman Superman World's Finest. This is number 6. This issue was so good. Unfortunately, it didn't have Dan Mora on art. I just love Dan Mora. I feel like his art is a big part of the reason why I've been loving this series, although the stories have been very, very good as well. I love Mark Waid's writing. But this story was a one and done. After the events of last issue, I believe. Yes, last issue, right? Yeah. After the events of last issue, Robin is stuck in the past. And I think it's around the early 1900s, I believe. And so while he's searching for a way to get back to his own time and his own home, he joins a circus. And it's really cool. And he sort of, there's some murder in the circus, and people are blaming it on the animals, the lions and the bears and things like that. And Robin has to, and again, this is Dick Grayson Robin because this takes place in the past. Well, the whole series takes place at some point in the past. But Dick Grayson Robin here in the circus decides to track down who the real killer is. Batman and Superman do join him at some point, and the way they got there was a little bit like, they didn't really explain it too well, but it almost doesn't matter because it's just so much fun. It was so cool to see Batman and Superman and Robin in the circus, early 1900s. Like, it was so good. Guys, I think that DC is sitting on a gold mine with this book. If they were to release, I've said it before, I've made TikToks about this, if they were to release a whole series of books that has this same feel, this same aesthetic, give us a World's Finest, Flash and Green Lantern, you know, just the classics, maybe that pre-crisis, just old school continuity, I think it would sell like gangbusters. So I absolutely love this book. I am very, very excited for the next arc. I cannot recommend this one highly enough. If you only pick up one DC book, make sure it's this one. Next up is Dark Crisis Young Justice number 3. So you guys know I'm all in on Dark Crisis. I think it's been very good so far. I haven't loved this particular tie-in, but this issue was actually the best of the 3 so far for this tie-in because Tim and Connor and Bart are finally starting to figure out that not everything is as it seems. It seems like they are reliving some of their past, reliving some of their old fights, fighting against some of their old foes. In this one, we start to get some clues as to why that is. So yeah, I like this one quite a bit. We got some cool action against Captain Boomerang and Lex Luthor and Deathstroke. This was a really fun one, and I hope that this tie-in series continues on this path, because I really want to find out, you know, the main Dark Crisis series, like, you know, the Justice League is supposedly dead, although we know they're not, but we know what's going on with those guys now, but I still don't know what's going on with Superboy and Robin and Impulse. This is the real mystery right here. Next up is The Flash 785. I didn't read this one because I'm so far behind on The Flash, but I need to read this one in the last couple because they are Dark Crisis tie-ins. So even though I'm super duper far behind on this series, I think I would be okay to read this issue and the couple that came before it just because of their tie-in to Dark Crisis. So I gotta sit down and do that at some point. And last from DC is Nightwing number 95. Super far behind on Nightwing. This is gonna go in my Bat box. If you guys saw my TikTok, I made a video of me organizing everything in my to-be-read pile, and I've got it right over here, right behind the camera. I know everything that I have to read. It's all in order, and so yeah, I'm going to try to read all of that, finally get caught up on all the Bat books, and this will be included in all of that. As for Image and the other indies, got some cool stuff here as well, including crossover number 1 3D special. So this is just the first issue of crossover, but 3D, and you even get the cool 3D glasses. So that's pretty neat. I haven't cracked it open yet. It's in a poly bag, but I'm gonna tear this open and reread the first issue of crossover in glorious 3D. Next up is Do a Powerbomb number 3. I'm loving this series so far. I loved the first issue and was really, really saddened when I went to read the second issue a few days ago and couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't over here on my to-be-read pile. It wasn't in my CLZ app. I could have sworn I bought it, but I guess I didn't. Luckily, my LCS had a copy of number 2 as well. So number 2 is not new today, number 3 is. So I did read both of these today, and holy cow, you guys. This series is amazing. So I am not a wrestling fan. I have nothing against wrestling. It's just not my thing. I'm just not interested, and I know nothing about it. But holy cow, I love this series. It just kind of goes to show that you don't have to be interested in a subject to read a story about it. So if you don't know, in this series, this young girl right here, shoot, I cannot remember her name. Lorna? Ah, darn it, I should have looked at that. But she, in the first issue at the beginning, she lost her mother. She is approached by this sort of extra-dimensional figure that tells her that, you know, I have a way to bring her back if you go, long story short, if you compete in this like interdimensional wrestling tournament and you win, I can bring your mother back for you. But it's a tag team tournament and you have to get a partner. So she asks this guy, Cobra Sun, who is the guy who inadvertently killed her mother in their wrestling match. And that's not a spoiler, that's the beginning of the first issue. It was an accident, you know, it was the moves were all scripted, but something went wrong and it happened, right? So she asks him for his help to compete in this tournament and get her mother back. I won't go any further than that, but the ending of issue number 2 completely shocked me. I did not see it coming. Maybe I should have, but I didn't, which was awesome because it meant it was a really, really nice surprise. And then in number 3, we get the tournament starts and we get some really, really awesome action, some really awesome panels from Daniel Warren Johnson. His artwork, he's the writer too, and it just, like, his style just matches this story so well. Guys, I recommend this one. Even if you, you know, if you're not a fan of wrestling, again, I'm not, you don't have to be. This story is just, it's action-packed, it's super interesting. I highly recommend this one. Next up is The Last Shadowhawk. So Shadowhawk, you know, one of the original Image titles back in the 90s. I loved Shadowhawk. I think I might have all of them from when I had them in the 90s. I'm not 100% sure. But this book with this awesome McFarlane Spider-Man number 1 homage variant, this is a one-shot, and it kind of serves as the last Shadowhawk story, kind of a wrap-up of the older Shadowhawk books from the 90s. So I didn't get the chance to read this one yet, but I really, really want to because I really liked Shadowhawk back in the 90s, and I can't wait to see how his story ends. And last from Image is the Silver Coin number 13. So you guys know I absolutely love the Silver Coin. Every issue since number 5 and number 1 have been completely awesome. But it was bound to happen, guys. I didn't like this issue. I thought it was really, really weird. Much weirder than the other issues have been. It's about a woman who is pregnant on December 31st, 1999. So there's, in the background, you know, there's all the Y2K stuff. She finds the coin. It makes her pregnancy not go as expected. And that's all I'll say. But it was really weird. Like, I thought maybe she was hallucinating a lot of it. But then I guess maybe she wasn't. And I don't know. It wasn't bad enough to make me drop the series at all, because the other ones have been so good. But like I said, it was bound to happen. Just this one, personally, I didn't love it. And then last for the single issues, but this isn't new. This is Something is Killing the Children number 23. Now, I know we just had 25, but like I mentioned, I finally got all of my to-be-read books in order, and that included the last 4 or 5 issues of Something is Killing the Children. They were scattered all over, and I had forgotten which ones I had. So starting with issue number 21, they did these cool face mask die-cut covers, so you can actually open the face mask and see her bloody face. And I have that for issues number 21, 22, 24, and 25. But with number 23, I missed it. I don't know how. So I just had the regular cover. And so when I finally laid them all out, I thought, oh shoot, number 23 is different than all the other ones before it. So I went looking at my LCS. Luckily, they had one copy of number 23 left, the die-cut cover here. So now I've got 21 through 25, and they all match like this. Haven't read since number 21, but I really want to, so this is just going to get mixed in with those, and I'm eventually going to read all of them at some point. But the fun doesn't stop there. I got, like I said, a giant stack of extra goodies. I went a little bit overboard. Did not mean to do this, but it's all good. It's all fun stuff. So starting with the Captain America Epic Collection, this is Arena of Death. This collects Captain America 411 through 419. Annuals 11 and 12. Captain America, a Ghost Rider Fear from the 90s. I have that, and that's really good. And then the 4-issue US Agent miniseries from the 90s. And then a couple other things as well. I mean, there's the Captain America and Ghost Rider right there. That story is awesome. Like I said before, I just really like these epic collections, and I like to try to get them when they're available, as long as I don't have the issues inside collected in some other form. I don't have any of those Cap stories in any other form. So I wanted to get this one to go up here on the shelf. Speaking of awesome epic collections, we've got Fantastic Four Epic Collection, the new Fantastic Four. So this collects Fantastic Four 347 through 361, and 347 and 348 are the new Fantastic Four. So Hulk and Ghost Rider and Spider-Man, and who's the other one? Wolverine, right? And then annual number 24, holiday special number 1, that kind of stuff. Again, I didn't have any of these issues collected, and I like the Epic Collections, so this is going to go on the shelf as well. Next up is the Cloaked Trade paperback from Dark Horse. Now, I don't quite remember what the story of this one is, but I've heard good things as it was coming out. I knew that I wanted to read it in trade, so I just kind of sat around and waited for it to come out in a collected edition, and here it is. Next from Image is the Complete Cyberforce Volume 1. Guys, I am super excited about this, because back in the 90s when Image first formed, Cyberforce was one of my favorite titles of all of them. There's something about it just resonated with me. I liked them probably better than Wildcats, probably better than Youngblood. I just liked this team. So this collects a bunch of stuff, you know, Cyberforce 0, 10 Men of War 1 through 4. I'm not really sure what that is. There's a couple of Wildcats issues in here. I think they had a crossover. Cyberforce Volume 2, numbers 1 through 13. Origins number 1, Cyblade, or Origins number 1, Cyblade, number 2, Striker, Cyberforce Annual number 1. Yeah, I mean, this is just like everything. I have some of my original Cyberforce books, but I don't have all of them. I don't have all of them. I don't have it as much as what's in this book, so it is super, super cool to have one of my favorite original Image books all in one nice volume. But guys, don't worry. I know you like it when I get a big boy book, and I've got one here. King Conan Omnibus Volume 1. This collects King Conan issues 1 through 19. I think that's the whole series, but I might be wrong. So if I'm wrong, don't yell at me too much. But I have several of the Conan... Can you see that? Yeah, right here. I have several of the Conan original Marvel years omnibuses. I don't have them all though, so I've got to work on that. But I couldn't have those and not have King Conan as well. Those are some really fun stories, and I expect that these will also be pretty cool. Now, you guys know I usually end with an omnibus, but I got a little bit more. Something that I was very surprised that I picked up, but I'm excited to have it, and I'm excited to read them. The first is the Deadpool Samurai manga. Manga, yeah, I said that. I'm not a Deadpool fan, but I have heard a lot of good things about this, so I figured I would try it out. So yeah, I'll have to let you guys know what I think. But then we're gonna stay on the manga train. Yeah, how about 2 manga? This one is Uzumaki. So a TikTok friend of mine, Albert Loves Comics, he's on Instagram as well. He made a great video about this, and it just sounded super duper interesting, and I wanted to pick it up. Guys, I think I actually might be getting into manga a little bit. I actually bought one last Friday after another TikTok buddy of mine named Comic Concierge. He made a great video about a manga called Crazy Food Truck. And I don't have it here in front of me, but it just sounded really good. And I've never really been into manga, but that one sounded good. My LCS had volume 1. I bought it, I read it, and I liked it. So yeah, I figured, hey, I liked that manga. Let's see if I like more manga. Let's keep this train going. So I picked up 2 more manga, and I don't know. I mean, I hope that I like them because I want them to be good, but I also hope I don't like them because I don't need another thing to like. I buy enough books already. I don't know if I need any more, but I think I'm gonna like these. And that's it, guys. Another awesome haul, and looking at the time on the camera, I think this video did wind up being about as long as normal, so I don't know how I can ramble on about things I haven't read, but I'm doing it right now. Guys, I appreciate you watching. If you like this video or any of the other videos on my channel, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it a sarcastic thumbs up. And if nothing else, let me know what you picked up this week. Was it a big, giant week for you? Are you a manga fan? Have you read this? Let me know. Just whatever you got, let me know. I love comic books. I can talk about them with a room full of people or just to a camera. Guys, don't forget, comic books are supposed to be fun. They are just another fun form of storytelling. Most comics are fictional. They're all made up. In the long run, none of it really matters anyway. There is plenty of stuff out there that everybody can just look through it all, find something that interests them, and it's super easy, because there's so much, it's super easy to simply disregard the things that don't interest you and let everybody else enjoy those. Also, don't forget that it does not matter how much you buy each week or each month. What makes a great comic book haul is that the things you get matter to you. They get you really excited to start reading comics, to sit down and tear these things open. Whether it's 1 book, 10 books, 100 books, it does not matter how much you buy, just as long as what you do get is really special to you. So guys, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.